Hey guys, coming up today on the show, not one, but two demos. What?
I'm confused.
This is Double Tap, where blind people talk tech. Here's Stephen Scott and Shaun Preece.
Oh, it's lovely to be here with you again, Shaun Preece. It's like, honestly, I feel like we've just seen each other.
What?
That's what it feels like. It feels like to me, like we've
Yes.
just parted company.
I know. We had a lovely blind handshake yesterday, which is a hug, obviously, at Euston Station, Stephen Scott, where you left me all on my own to fend for myself, I noticed.
Not quite on your own, and I think the person who was with you might get rather annoyed by that statement, I will say. We will talk about that, though, because on Friday's show, coming up this week, you're going to see what we've been up to this week. We've been out and about.
We have, yes. We've been ripping it up in that there London. It was fun.
That's right, eating McDonald's in a hotel room and then falling asleep. That's pretty much all we've been doing for a couple of days. So yeah, we were at an amazing tactile art exhibition in London. We were invited there by a company called CarveCo, and they had an exhibition called Touch Beyond Vision. And you're going to get a chance to find out all about it and meet our special guests who joined us at the event. A number of blind influencers were there, including Lucy Edwards, who's very well known on social media, and of course for her advertising on Pantene products and also her makeup videos that she's been doing for many, many years. So she came along to say hello, and a number of other people did as well. I want to say hello to all the listeners who came up and said hello to us as well, including one guy called John, who I remember came up and said to me, "I'm your listener." He's the one. Yes, we found him.
Yes. Thank you very much, John. Lovely to meet you at last.
It was wonderful. Do you know, I always come back really sniffy from these trips. And you know what? It's train air conditioning. That's what it is. Train air conditioning. It's the worst.
You have air conditioning on your first class compartment, do you?
In fairness, the train from London to Glasgow always has air conditioning on it. What train were you on?
Oh, sorry. Is yours an open top train? I didn't know. Yes, I don't know what train I was on.
Yours was an open top train by the sounds of it.
It was very uncomfortable. Hey, you know what I tried when you left me to fend for myself alone in London Euston Station
with your partner,
all on my own?
Yes.
I downloaded SeatFrog.
Oh, yeah, I told you about this. Yeah.
Frog. Because what happened was you had an earlier train. I didn't want to be left on my own. So I jumped in the taxi with you. And I was there for 2 hours before my train was actually due to depart. So I thought, you know what? I wonder if I can change it and get change my ticket to an earlier train. And apparently you can through SeatFrog.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, well, there's three options. There's buy a ticket, there's bid on an upgrade, or change your train.
I have never gone that far. That's interesting.
Well, you see, Steve, you got to explore in life, Stephen Scott.
No, I want to find what I need and then get on with it. So, if you don't know, SeatFrog is kind of actually sold, and that was my understanding of it, was sold as an app that you could use. Once you've bought your train ticket, you can, of course, as you say, buy it in the app. But if you bought your train ticket from somewhere else, and this is in the UK, I don't know if this is around the world, but certainly in the UK, if you're traveling, you can bid on first class accommodation or seating, whatever you would call it. Accommodation, yes, a beautiful 5 apartment in the middle of the train. But yeah, you can book on and bid on those free seats that are available, if they're available. And you can often get a good deal. You know, so something that would cost maybe 80, 100, 150 pounds might cost you 50. Depends on the deal.
Well, can you? Because I looked on there.
Yes,
and
you can, because I've done it.
Yeah, well, can you though?
Yes, you can, because I've done it. It's going to be one of those days. You know, I'm a little bit nippy today. I'm not going to lie to you. 5 hours on a train yesterday, being delayed again. Although, I have to say, everyone cheered up at the end of that, Johnny, because we were delayed by an hour because a tree had fallen onto the track. That's bad, by the way. I was informed by the train staff that is not a good thing when there's a tree lying across the front of the train. Now, I will say we were lucky we didn't hit the tree. Everything was fine. The train driver was clearly alerted of it in advance, perhaps through some kind of technology they have that tell them trees have fallen on train lines, like, other trains passing saying, "There's a tree line there." Better tell someone. So, yeah, I was stuck there. And everyone was complaining and moaning, because that's what you do on a British train. That's all you do is complain and moan. And then at the end, the conductor says, "Now remember, if you go to the Delay Repay website, you can get some money back. Everyone left the train cheering. Hey!
Doing the conga. Everyone's happy.
We're going to get our money back. This company's going to go down the tubes. Brilliant.
Stop it. Right, going back to SeatFrog for a second, which, as you rightfully say, is an app where you can bid on upgrading your seat. I went on there, and first class, I looked at that, and it said you can you can upgrade your ticket for £75. And I couldn't find anywhere to actually bid. Now, bear in mind, this is 2 hours before I'm actually due. Well, probably by the time I downloaded it and had a look, an hour before I was actually due to go.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually, if I said I'm going to bid £5, that's my want, my limit.
Yeah.
You can do that, can you?
Well,
so it's not just
there is a
offer.
minimum. There is a minimum bid. So, for example, on the first class train on the one I was going for, that you could buy a ticket for £88, which was actually pretty good. That's about half price, 88. So that's about half the price of a standard upgrade to first class, right?
Right.
Or you can pay or bid £50, and if you're lucky, you'll get it for the 50. It's like an eBay auction, but you've got your minimum bid on it.
There's a minimum. Okay. All right. I will look into that again. Yeah.
It's good. If you want to get the upgrade, it's often quite good. You can get some good deals in it. It doesn't always happen. And I'm noticing that a lot of the train companies are now reducing the amount of seats available through those kind of apps. Can't think why that is. Maybe because they're giving away all their money to people when they delay the trains.
Yeah, but they're only empty seats anyway, right?
I know,
so
it's ridiculous.
It makes sense that you could get them at a cheaper price. I always go with the true and tested method of just saying, hey, to my assistant, any chance you could just throw us in first class?
Bad idea. Bad blind person.
It never worked on this occasion, but yeah, sometimes it does. They just throw you in there.
They do. Oh, but yeah, they throw you in there, but then they charge you hundreds of pounds for the privilege.
No, never. They can't charge me. I'm blind, Yeah,
good luck with that. Anyway,
sometimes I play it up. Yeah.
Have they put me in first class? What does that look like? What's this new world? I have to say, I did it once, and it was genuine. It was genuine because I'd sat down and I had put my bag on the table, which at the time I didn't realize was covered in cutlery and mugs.
Oh yeah,
and it just swiped the lot off the table, and that was interesting.
Did they bundle you out?
No, they just said, that obviously they felt sorry for me, and they left me there.
Ah, beautiful. Can I also say
hang on, and here's the killer line. Here's the killer line. I feel like I'm telling tales out of school here. But the killer line was, this is very kind of you letting me sit here. I won't take anything to eat.
Oh God,
or
you're
drink.
So humble, Stephen Scott.
And
such a
they
nice
said,
guy.
Don't be silly. Of course you can have it.
Crisp at you.
Okay, fine. I'll take it.
Can I just say, we do not represent the blind community in any way, and we are terrible people.
Every blind person listening is going, don't tell them you're doing that. That'll ruin it for the rest of us.
Can I just say, you pointed out something to me that I did not know. The Braille signage, which, is actually a really good thing now, and I love it.
We're all in on it, yeah.
The Braille signage on the side of the seat telling you the seat number.
Which means you can find your seat again, which is really quite nice.
I wasn't, sat there cross-legged for 2 hours because I was afraid to go off and find the toilet or go to the shop to get a cup of tea because I'd never find my seat again. That was really cool, actually. Once someone points out it's there, okay, this is useful. Yes.
I only found it by accident. I was standing up. I put my hand on the seat in front of me, and there's a handle on the side of the chair.
Yeah, the little ear that sticks out.
Exactly,
of the headrest.
That's right, a little ear that sticks out. And when I was touching it, I was like, "Oh, is that Braille?" I thought, it can't be. It is. Wow, didn't know they'd done that.
Backwards L, I believe that's the number symbol.
Yes, that's right. And then your seat number.
The letter D and A.
That's right. It tells you the coach you're in and the number of the seat.
No, didn't tell me the coach. Actually, that's the one thing I didn't find
D?
the coach.
Is that not what D is?
No, I mean D as in I was in seat 41.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, I see. Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, it did take me about 5 minutes just feeling the side of the seat to work it out with my Braille.
Okay, that's a D. So what's the A, B, C, D? Four.
Exactly.
Four. That's what that is. Yeah, I do that all the time. Do you know? I always remember. I don't know why, but I always remember 8 because it's H, and for some reason that sticks in my mind as hate.
Yeah.
So I'm always fine from H.
That's made me slightly nervous. Let's quickly move on.
That's how I remember it. I always think
Very
H8, hate, and that's how I remember that. And then I think, well, if it's I, then it's 9, so I'm fine.
I
That's
always think,
little things you learn, little things you stick in your head.
D is 4 because it reminds me of playing battleships.
I have no idea what you're
D4,
talking about.
Miss.
Is
Anyway,
that an accessible
move on.
game?
Yes. Oh, I don't know, is it?
Right, let's
Right
move on. Shall we do some news? Because I feel there's a lot of news. Let's get some
No, there
news.
isn't.
Double tap news.
No news this
We
week.
pressed the button, so we've got to do news now. We've got to talk about a new video that's leaked ahead of Meta Connect. Yes, a new.
We don't have to.
I want to talk about this. This is
I
interesting.
don't think we should.
I think we should talk about it. It's very interesting. A new video's come out, and it's showing a pair of glasses. Wait for it. With a screen. Yes. Correct
Also
answer.
known as a headset.
No,
Not glasses.
it's not a headset.
A headset. A VR headset, if you will.
These are not VR headsets.
Glasses.
This
No,
is a
I agree.
pair
They're not
of regular glasses. They're a pair of regular glasses, and they have a screen in them. It seems the screen is on one side of the glasses, so very similar to what Google Glass was back in the day. And they're also showing, and this is interesting to a lot of people, we've talked a lot about this desire for a lot of blind people who want to have wraparound sunglasses. And there's a pair of those on show as well in this video with a centered camera.
Yeah, that's going to be the Oakleys.
That probably will, that will be Oakley. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
And so they're saying, and obviously they're going to come out with new designs. This might be a new addition to the range of Oakley, more than
Or it
likely.
could be Prada. I'm still waiting for the Prada to be announced.
That's true. That's true. So there's that. There's also another pair of Ray-Bans on there that are audio only. Whether or not they're just upgraded, and let's hope they are with new features. We'll see how that all turns out. We're going to find this, of course, out today as the event happens. The actual keynote is at 5 p.m. Pacific time in
The
Pacific
areas.
for the Pacific people, it's 5 p.m. And for the rest of us, that's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So needless to say, we will not be awake. Well, I don't know. I might wake up and never listen.
Do you know what? I'm kind of tempted. Let's do it anyway.
Well, I think I
Why
might.
not?
I would love. I am very keen on this event, so this does excite me. I don't know if I could sleep all the way through till morning, knowing that
like
a huge
Christmas.
tech
I'm
event has happened.
so
Because the problem is, as soon as
excited.
you open social media, everyone's talking about it, and it's like, oh, I want to watch it first. I don't want to know the score of the
Right.
game, from someone
Yeah,
else.
exactly. I'm going to watch it live.
That was a
I'm gonna
sports
do it.
analogy, by the way. I've never made a sports analogy in this program,
Yeah, sorry,
and I
it's-
will absolutely never do it again. Was that a sports analogy?
Yes, it was.
Okay, right.
Are you excited then? Are you
I am.
saying that these... Are you... yeah, wait, just
I am
wait.
waiting. Listen, dear listener,
Yeah.
we are a little bit tetchy today. It's been a long trip.
Yes.
And I had to be out with Shaun for 2 days. Let's be honest.
Someone
about
left me on my own in the middle of Euston Station.
it. With your
Anything
partner,
could have
Sarah.
happened.
Sarah was there with you.
Was she? Oh, yeah, she was. That's right.
You couldn't not notice.
That's true. That's true. I had to go and find upper crust to buy some sandwiches and
Oh,
endless
I've never
cups of
eaten
tea.
anything from Upper Crust. Is it nice?
Actually, it was very nice.
What
it
did
was
you
the
have?
price. Really? Well, okay. Sorry, listeners. Bear with us. I had a all-day breakfast baguette. Sarah had a cheese and tomato baguette, and I had a orange juice, and Sarah had a cup of tea.
The reason I ask is because I've never bought anything from there because I don't know what they sell.
Well, yes. Every time I usually go there, there's nothing left. But being Houston, it was fully stocked. It was very good. And then she said that would be so much of a price. I went. I walked away after
How
just
much?
swiping my phone, and then I said to Sarah, "I hope she didn't say £70." What I thought she said. And Sarah said, "No, she said 17." I went, what? How much? I thought it was 7. It's ridiculous. And yeah, as usual, I went into this is ridiculous London prices and sounded like a old miser. But
But in fairness, if you go to an Upper Crust in Manchester, you'll get exactly the same deal.
very true. Yeah, that's why we don't usually do it. What were we
Captive
talking
audience.
about?
Yeah,
Where
so
have
we're
we
talking about
gone now?
Meta, right? So this is the event that's
No,
coming up.
Stop.
What?
Are you
What? No.
are you excited because you are saying that the new glasses you've seen are going to be basically the Meta Ray-Ban 2s or 3s, depending on how you're numbering it, but the
yeah.
new generation?
So, yeah, the talk of the town is that there's going to be 2 editions coming out. This is what the rumor is. This video has kind of upended that a little bit because obviously there's going to be more potentially. And look, this video, at first when I heard about it through online publication called Upload VR, and I thought,
VR, like the headsets.
it's not VR.
headsets.
Stop
Upload
it about VR.
headsets. Yeah,
I'm gonna come back to Manchester just to bop you on the nose for this nonsense. But it was Upload VR that had published this, and because of course this video had been uploaded, then quickly taken down. I don't know how people see these things so quickly, but someone caught it and obviously downloaded it, got a hold of it. I have to say the cynic in me thinks, on the day of, was it Monday or Tuesday it was released? So on the day that Apple bring out new products, and of course you've got, the iOS and macOS updates taking over all the coverage. How do you get the pendulum to swing back to you? A little timely leak would do the job there.
We're here. Yeah, I mean, Google are the masters of this with all their, pixel leaks before everyone knows everything.
So it does seem genuine, right? It seems like this is genuine, and it does follow the trend. It does follow the trend of rumors that have been going around. There's going to be 2 new types. So you're going to get the Ray-Bans. We will get a new version of the Ray-Ban glasses announced.
I don't think so.
And that will have, well, who knows, potentially better audio on there. Certainly, a lot of people are saying that the Oakley glasses, the Meta Oakleys, have got a much nicer sound than the Meta Ray-Bans. I haven't tried them yet, but I'm kind of intrigued to know what that sounds like. And again, I'm more interested to know, I don't know why, but I've got so used to the Ray-Bans now. I'm like, okay, this is where I'm going to be probably. And I also don't really like the styles of what they've got coming out. The wraparound sounds interesting. They're kind of developed for people who are going out doing sporty things. So would you wear these out on town? I don't know. But then the centered camera, I know a lot of blind people are quite interested in this, especially from the point of view of Be My Eyes, Ira. This could be helpful potentially. I mean, I've never really had a major issue.
No, nobody has.
Anyway.
The thing is that people they tend to say that because the camera on the Meta Ray-Bans currently is on the left-hand side. And people say, well, that sounds like it would be hard work, to try and get things centered. But it's angled. So you don't have to move things slightly to your left to get it in shot because the camera itself is angled, so it's pointing towards the center. So I think that's more of a wish for people who haven't actually used the Meta Ray-Bans. I don't think it would be an issue, to be honest, if it's in the center or either side.
And then, of course, there's the other pair of glasses, and this is the nickname is Hypernova. I don't think that's what they're going to be called, but these are the glasses that have got the display in them. And there's also, in this video, a wristband as well that they're saying will be some kind of, I think they're calling it like a neural wristband, which you can essentially, a bit like the Apple Watch, I guess. Is that similar? Where you can, use gestures to control?
It's a lot like, it's like the controllers for every other VR headset out there. Pretty much. It's just a new way of doing it.
Yeah.
So it's a VR headset.
But look, being serious for a minute, there's a lot of people out there.
I am being serious. That's what it is.
It's not a VR headset, because a VR headset's a totally different thing.
And that's what this is.
This isn't even AR. Never mind VR. This is literally just a little screen in your field of view that will have information like, messaging. They're saying things like navigation on foot. It would show you directions. Look, I'm not saying this is a huge interest to us in the blind community.
Yeah.
Although I think we need to look beyond the screen a little bit. I think, the fact is this is going to have its own operating system on board, again, like Google Glass did. And that interests me from the point of view of, okay, so hang on, are you saying that an Ira or a Be My Eyes or an Envision or a Seeing AI could actually be built into the glasses? This seems like the first real attempt that we're getting to, or a real successful attempt at this. Not saying that that's going to happen, but the fact is that if there's an operating system that they can develop onto, an app store is capable on it, then that gets quite interesting, right? This is kind of what we were talking about this when the Vision Pro came out. We were all excited about that. And of course, no one was going to walk around town with a Vision Pro in their heads, unless you're in San Francisco and you've got way too much money and you live in an area where you've got 15 bodyguards walking with you. But these are different. This is a different prospect.
Let's be serious about this, right? The reason I keep saying, no, it's not smart glasses is exactly that reason. It's like saying the Vision Pro are smart glasses. And I feel, look, the thing with the Meta Ray-Bans is that we don't feel like we're wearing some weird technology on our head. The form factor is just a pair of sunglasses, and that's key.
But that's what these are. That's exactly what these are. They are slightly bigger. in the sense of they're slightly chunkier than the Ray-Bans, but that's it. They will, of course, this technology will minimize over years.
Yes, it will.
But right now, it's a little bit bigger. It is not a VR headset you're walking down the street with. This is not the Meta Quest. That's not what this is.
Okay. All right, we will see. These, of course,
for people watching on YouTube, you'll be seeing the video. We're not putting the video up, but the actual images from the video that you can see the actual pair of glasses. They are a regular pair of glasses. The other thing that's interesting is here they are in this video anyway, Ray-Ban branded. So
yes,
that's quite interesting as well. So it's basically like a slightly thicker version, slightly thicker framed version of the Ray-Ban glasses. I think you have it in your head. It's a headset.
Yes,
but
I do.
Not,
that's why I keep saying it, Stephen.
I know, because you're an idiot.
I've been very clear about this.
I know. You're very clear. You're an idiot. Yes. Because you're not listening. You're not listening to me.
Okay, what would these need to have to be of interest to us? Because, okay, let's throw the
Be
display.
My Eyes, Envision, Seeing AI on there.
Yeah, okay.
I want all that.
Right, stop. You actually, have you got a Quest headset you tried back in the day?
Oh, yeah, I'd Meta Quest 2.
Meta Quest 2, right? Okay, so now that is a standalone. And when we say standalone, that's exactly what I mean. You don't need a phone connected to it to actually run the apps or features or whatever. It's just purely standalone. So that had its own OS built in, its own operating system built in, right? The Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that open up to anything else, or did it have its own app store? How did that work? Because it's going to be the same.
Well, it did. It had the Horizon, I think it was the Horizon store, which is, I believe, the similar type of OS that's going to be inside these glasses. But again, you're looking at a product which, if I'm honest, would never have been applicable for any of the things I'm thinking about. I mean, if you think about Be My Eyes or Ira or Envision, I wouldn't imagine the cameras inside the Meta Quest were capable of being anywhere near good enough.
Of course they are. What
no,
are you
they weren't.
talking about?
No, they weren't.
Absolutely.
Are you kidding me? The video, I remember the video on the Meta Quest 2 of the outside world was awful. It was abysmal.
Are you saying
and it was never used for that?
Megapixel cameras?
It was like one of those. Do you know what it reminded me of? I remember those night vision cameras you used to get that were really just awful, this terrible kind of view. Because the cameras in them were never built for the outside world. They were built for being able to see enough to understand its environment.
Into the wall,
yeah,
or
that was
all
all.
Over the sofa.
But you were never going to walk around and be able to identify anything or see anything clearly. That wasn't the purpose of them.
That's not the point I'm making. The point
I don't know what the point you're making is.
The point I'm making is, even if it does, and I agree with you, having their own standalone operating system on these smart glasses would be great, and that potentially could open it up to third-party developers such as Envision and Ira and all the ones we've mentioned. Seeing AI, absolutely amazing. Do you think it would happen? Do Meta have a history of opening up their hardware to third party?
Well,
the answer is no.
I think there is an answer to this, which is yes, because we actually saw it at last year's Meta Connect event, and it was Envision. They were there.
They were there.
And they were talking about being on this product. I mean, they've kind of given the answer away already on this one. No. It's like they're working with partners to bring their products to this kind of device. Now, look, of course, Envision aren't saying anything about this yet. That may change. In the next 24 hours, we could be sitting here blown away at the potential of what these glasses could do, especially for us.
Should we be blown away? I'm sorry, I'm being really contrary and grouchy today. Should we be blown away, or should we be saying, well, why are we looking at buying the Ally Solos if these are around the corner?
That is an interesting question, one that will definitely be coming up if this was to pass, right? And I think I made this very point the other week, right? I was kind of making this point to you that, if this comes out, that actually there's these glasses and they've the Envision built in, for example, let's just take Envision. Obviously, they have their pre-order going on right now for the Ally Solos. Do people feel let down by that? Saying, well, hang on a minute, if you'd known this was coming, why didn't you wait a month? Because I'd much rather have that. But bear in mind, again, it's about price points and it's about availability of the options.
That's true. That's very true.
And look, Envision would say, and I think they'd be right to say, well, look, we're giving you hardware at different price points, right? You've got a really expensive product in the Google Glass. We've got this much cheaper option with the Ally Solos, although granted, the pre-order price is much better than the, regular price is going to be. It's about $600, I believe, for the glasses. So, look, I think we have to see what comes out of this event, and then we'll know.
A headset.
It's not going to be a headset. In fact, there's no
Headset
talk.
and the
So here's another thing for you, right? And this is why Upload VR actually talked about this in their video.
Upload VR headsets, yeah.
Because a number of VR content creators were not invited to the event coming up. And in fact, it were people who were more in the content space around AR and AI. So, don't know what that tells you, but it seems that they're certainly not going to be bringing out any major new updates to the Meta Quest. They might, but that's not going to be the focus of this event, I don't think.
No, I think at some point it's all going to converge anyway. So I don't think there will be a distinction between VR and
But just in case
AR.
people are thinking, oh, we'll write this off, it's a VR headset that's coming out, that is absolute nonsense. Look, there may be a VR headset, but that's not what this is. What I'm talking about is a pair of glasses. I'll say it one more time for the idiot to my right or left, whatever way around this is. Whichever way you're peering from this. Or straight in front, who knows? Sideways. It's a pair of glasses. It's a regular pair of glasses with a screen in there.
Okay, we don't know. This is all rumours and leaks, but
it's all rumours. They've pretty much told us. But yeah, other than that, it's
they. Who's they? Stephen Scott.
Meta.
Meta come out and said this.
Yes, it's their video. What do you think? I published it?
No.
If I published it, it would have come out 6 months after the event.
Someone's claiming this is their video. This wasn't released on the Meta account.
Let's see what happens.
Okay, lots of people really want this to be the case, and I am too. I want the next gen. Obviously, I do. I'm just not convinced yet. That's all. Okay, we will find out tonight.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, we'll definitely. We're going to be joined by Michael Babcock tomorrow. Finally, we get Michael on. Every time we try and get Michael on these days, something horrific happens. We lose internet. He loses power.
Tree on the line.
Yeah, tree on the internet. So yeah, hopefully that will not be the case. And also, Carrie Morales, returning champion, back with us to review the Meta Connect event. Of course, that will be our first thoughts, but it's not like the Apple event in the sense that you've got a lot to kind of pull out. A lot of the information will be very clear, I think, from the Meta Connect event. Although I think there'll be a lot to talk about. I really do. Well, I hope there is. Let's put it that way. Otherwise, we'll be talking about something else. Right, let's move on. Some other stories. The AppleVis report card is out. This is always worth checking. So, of course, on Monday, all the big operating systems for Apple were announced. iOS 26, all the way through to macOS 26, tvOS, HomePods, AirPods, everything got an update. So, if you've decided to jump ahead and get the update, great. But, of course, you will be hitting some bugs. If you want to know in advance what those bugs are, head over to applevis.com. applevis.com if you've never been there before, although, I know a lot of people know about it, but I hate when people assume that everyone knows everything about everything, because the amount of times I've spoken to people who say, what's that Be My Eyes thing you're always talking about? And it's like, not everyone knows everything, right? Mm-hmm. So, AppleVis, applevis.com, that is the place to go for all the news. It is the home of the blind community when it comes to Apple, and their team they are so vital at this time of year for us blind folks to understand what is not quite right, what are perhaps show-stopping bugs that might exist in the Apple ecosystem, whether it be on the Mac or on the iOS. And there are a few things. I mean, look, it's a brand new release. There are going to be challenges and issues. Certainly for low vision people, there seems to be a lot of issues with this new liquid glass, which we kind of expected, I imagine. And of course, you can go in and turn it off. But even with doing that, some people are still reporting that some buttons or some elements have got no text visible at all. So it's just like big white blobs all over the screen. They don't know where it is. So major challenges for that. But of course, I imagine a 26.1 update will follow very shortly, fixing a lot of this. But on the blind front, there are a lot. Go check them out. There's a lot of bugs to mention, a lot of small things that might irritate you. And the AppleVis report card is very clear. Some of the issues will not affect everybody. Some of them are, intermittent. They show up occasionally, not for others. Check it out. But I would say if you're cautious at all, or you really rely on that phone and you're someone who gets really nervous around change, don't update now. I would give it a month at least. By a month's time, it's usually all settled down.
Yeah, there's absolutely no rush to update here at all. AppleVis really are the go-to at this point, aren't they? Because, they just do it so well. And of course, we should just say it's not only the team, the community also, submit their bug reports as well to AppleVis. So yeah, well done, AppleVis, as ever. Fantastic job. If you want to know what's going on before you update, check it out.
And we're going to try and get some of the guys on to talk about it and just kind of give a bit of an overview of where we're at with it. And we'll check in with them regularly to make sure that if there's anything major that's not being addressed, because that's the other problem. If you get to a month in and there's still major issues, then that's a challenge. A lot of people, of course, excited about Braille Access, which you do need a Braille display for. Just to be very clear, if you want to use Braille Access across the ecosystem, you need to have that Braille display. It's not like, I know that it was sold as this idea of being a note taker, but when Sarah Herlinger was on with us, she was very clear. It is something which goes with your note taker rather than something that's devoid of it. Yeah.
And there does seem to be a bit of an issue. There's some bugs in the Braille Access when it comes to typing and live captioning. But again, check out AppleVis if you're interested.
A lot of people are very excited about this live captioning thing, and I can understand why. I've met many deaf-blind people over the years who...
Oh, of course.
They're just going to love this functionality, this ability to be in a Teams call or being in a meeting of some kind, and any captioning can be automatically relayed onto your Braille display. That is just amazing, isn't it?
That is one of those game changers, right? That will affect a lot of people. That's fantastic. I updated last night, actually, for no other reason than I thought, I'll give it a go. So I did open the Games app. I thought, games, let's play games.
I didn't know about that.
I was greeted with button.
Button.
Which is, unusual for Apple, as we know, but it's in the list of games that it's recommending or you can play, So, but, early days, as you said. So just wait, hold back.
Just wait.
The only reason I downloaded it, and the most talk I've heard about, absolutely ridiculous with all these cool features, is you can just set a file as your ringtone. That's what everyone wants to do.
Oh,
really?
You
can have an audio file anywhere, and you can just, I think it's double tap or whatever it is, get to the context menu and set it as your ringtone. So, that's very cool, actually.
That actually feels like something that should have been there a long time ago, shouldn't it?
Well, you listen to, all the ringtones are always exactly the same.
Yeah.
And whenever a call comes in a crowd, it's like, oh, whose phone is that? Because they're all the same. No one changes their ringtone.
It's the same as the ding, the little message ding that you get.
Yeah, that's right.
It's nothing worse than when you're on television. You're watching a show on television, and on the TV it does it, and everyone picks up their phone. Everyone's like, oh, have I got a message here? What's going on?
It was a nice, easy process, though. The update went really, apart from my phone got incredibly hot. I will say that. Not for long, for about a minute, but I actually touched the screen and I thought, wow, that's the hottest I've ever felt my phone ever.
You're running the iPhone 15 Pro Max?
15 Pro Max, yes.
Throw it away. A lot of rubbish. You don't want that anymore.
Simple as that. I'll just throw it away. It got slightly warm. Throw it away.
If you're near the sea at any point, just throw it in.
Also,
that's absolutely, and that is the view of AMI.
Of AMI. God bless you, Mr. F. I'm so sorry. Also, iOS 18.7.
Down there with your monitor, your compact PC. Just chuck it all in. Get rid of it.
Stop it. I love the planet. iOS 18.7 is also available if you don't want to update to iOS 26 just now. But you want the latest security updates, that is available.
I think some people think you have to get 18.7 to get 26.
No.
But I don't think you do. I think it's just a choice. Yeah. Like you say, there's updates going along. It's a good process. I have updated my MacBook, not my main Mac. And I haven't even really noticed any major problems at all, to be honest.
Oh.
So, yeah.
What have you updated it to, Stephen Scott? What is it?
macOS 26. Oh, Tahoe.
Tahoe? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And there's no...
Tahoe,
Stephen Scott says there's absolutely no problem with that.
Absolutely fine. No bugs at all.
Okay.
Check out AppleVis. They know their onions. Go check it out and you'll get all the information, in particular about iOS. Now, I will say as well, there's a lot of reviews coming in already from a lot of the big YouTubers who review stuff. They get usually a week in advance of launch. And AirPods Pro 3 reviews are in. And I've got to say that everyone seems very excited about the AirPods Pro 3. I think this might be the best product they've brought out this year. Because I haven't tried them yet, but going by the reviews, going by what I've heard, and people who are generally a little bit negative around this or tend to say, yeah, they're okay, but even those people are singing the praises of the AirPods. And I think it's because this time around, they may have just nailed it with the audio and the active noise cancellation. People who have been trying it say, it was hard to believe that it could be better than it would be, but it just is. And it's down to a couple of different things. It's part software, it's part a new redesign of the AirPods that are a little bit smaller, and also the foam-infused, as they call it, ear tips. So you've got a little bit of foam in there as well. So, I mean, maybe that's all it is. Maybe they just added a bit of foam and the problem was solved. It's like, suddenly I can hear nothing out from outside. So the seal is better around your ear. Also, they give you 5 sets of ear tips. So for people who've struggled to wear AirPods Pros in the past, or AirPods
extra small,
they will find something hopefully that fits better. It does seem like they've nailed it in terms of those 2 key areas. The heart rate sensor is a big boost for a lot of people as well, which is kind of interesting. I mean, again, that's more for fitness and everything else. But again, what I kind of like is when you tie it to fitness, you don't need the watch as much. There's a lot of stuff in fitness now. You can start you can have the workout buddy talking to you. You can start a workout not with a watch, which you had to do before in a lot of cases. Now you don't have to do that. You can use the EarPods.
It's just another option. And there is an algorithm in there that will sort out if you're wearing both, it will decide which is giving the best information, the best reading. So that's also very cool. And the thing with the foam ear tips is that if you think of memory foam, basically foam will mold to the shape of your ear canal. Yeah. So it will give you that better seal. Whereas with silicone, there is a seal there, obviously, but it's not quite as malleable, I believe the word is.
Wow, that's well done. That's a word of the day for Shaun Preece.
Thank you.
Well done.
So, yes, a little bit. But foam isn't quite as comfortable as silicone, so they've just put a little bit in at the end to give you that better seal. But people are raving about the active noise cancellation. And before I tried it, I was all a bit, well, yeah,
whatever.
Okay, who cares? How many, airplane trips do I take where I care about this? But actually, when you do try it, you think, this is just amazing. It is so useful. It is so useful.
I was coming back on the train.
Get a bit,
yeah.
Overwhelmed by noise.
That's right.
I call it the sports hall effect. Like when I'm in a restaurant, it takes me back to that too much noise and reverb, and it just gets a bit overwhelming. And it's just so nice to have that active noise cancellation.
And the adaptive noise cancellation, which is brilliant in those environments as well, because it can really dull that noise down for you. So, if you're on a train or a subway train or whatever, and you find it's very loud, screeching, all that, especially in train stations, classic example. If that kind of stuff, and it does, there's a lot of blind people who just are really impacted by those loud noises, those sudden noises. It can really just get hold of that. And, with the battery life extension on the AirPod Pro 3s as well, going up to 8 hours, 10 hours with transparency mode, that's brilliant. I mean, the idea now is you could wear them, and you could be able to wear them all day. So
it's the fast charge, isn't it? Like 5 minutes gives you so many hours. I can't actually remember the exact numbers, but it's something where you think that's actually very, very usable.
See, it's the problem with the Meta Ray-Bans for me at the moment, because with them, obviously, if you have to charge them, you've got to take them off to charge them. Now, I need my sunglasses on all day. So the only option I've got is to carry 2 pairs around with me and constantly swap them around. Mm-hmm. With the AirPods, you can take one out, charge it up for a while, then pop it back in your ear and take the other one out and charge. So you can have them in all day. Maybe not advisable to have them in all day every day, and make sure you're cleaning your ears regularly if you are, and the AirPods for that matter. But but no, it's good. And someone was saying, I noticed, I think it was Marquez Brownlee, who's a well-known YouTuber, a tech YouTuber. He was saying that he could also turn his music volume down. This is something I noticed a few years ago with these. When you've got the active noise cancellation, you don't need your music as loud. Because, you've cut all the back. You're often trying to compensate for all the noise around you. You don't need to do that with the NC, which is amazing.
It depends on your use case. Obviously, for us, if we're out and about, we want the pass-through, the transparency mode on, don't we? So
with voiceover and guidance and all that stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but have you pre-ordered, Stephen Scott? You sound smitten.
I am smitten. I haven't pre-ordered. I think I might take a little wander into the store.
Can you test these out in store?
You can. Yes, you can. Yeah.
Can you?
Mm-hmm.
What? You can put them in your ears?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
Well,
It's
obviously,
like trying on underwear in a clothes shop. Surely that shouldn't be allowed.
They take them back and they clean them. They
Burn
remove
them.
the air tips and clean them and do what they do with them. But yeah, but you can try them in store. That's actually the very first time I bought them way back when. I remember saying at the time, it would be good to try them. The guy said, "Oh, no problem at all." So he brought over a pair. I tried them. My wife tried them. It was like, "Here's my money. Take my money. Here, how much do you want? What, 2 pairs? There you go." And off we went. It was exactly like that. That was exactly what it was like.
To be fair, it usually is like that with you in the Apple store. It's very good.
I want to go in because I want to have a handle on the iPhone Air. I want to know what it feels like. I'm not saying I'm hugely interested in it, but I am intrigued to get hold of it and see what it's like.
Me too.
So I'll probably pop into the store.
Very good, very good.
Time.
Do you know? Can you trade if you've got a previous generation? Can you trade in, or is that not allowed with the AirPods?
No, you can't. That's one thing you can't trade in. It's funny, you can trade in pretty much anything else, but you can't trade that in, which is odd. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, there you go. That's yes, absolutely. Well, that's you up to date with the news.
Double Tap News.
So coming up, we are going to have not one, but 2 demos from our wonderful audience. Stick around. But first, if you want to get in touch with the show, here's how.
Get in touch with Double Tap. Email feedback at doubletaponair.com. Leave us a voicemail at 1-877-803-4567. And now you can send an audio or video message to us on WhatsApp. That number is 1-613-481-0144.
Yep, get in touch. We'll get into your feedback in the next couple of shows. But for now, we're going to turn to one of our listeners, Stan Luttrell, who's been a long-time listener to our show and contributes regularly here. And he is going to tell us all about Studio Recorder, an app that we were telling you about recently. This is from the American Printing House for the Blind, APH in America. They have this app that's been around for many, many years. And to celebrate its 25th anniversary this year, they were doing a discount on it. Well, if you want to know more about it, here's Stan.
This is Stan Warren Luttrell, and I've used Studio Recorder for years, probably the majority of time that it was out. Little history behind Studio Recorder. Originally, to show you how this $49 is really a big deal, I still have the original disc of Studio Recorder that I purchased, and they had a little Braille thing on Studio Recorder giving you the serial number and so on and so forth. And I still have that disc around, but what they do is they have some really wonderful keyboard commands. Since you're dealing with spoken word material, they offer some really great keyboard commands. First of all, you can use the F6 key to launch recording. You use the F5 key to play the recording. And then you have a bunch of things where they have a menu. For example, if you press the Alt key, you have the file menu. The E key is for edit, and then you have a myriad of other things. And I'll tell you, Reaper is great, but I've never really gotten into using it. So even doing my radio work, I often will use Studio Recorder in cases when my phone is having issues. But anyway, they have, I've got to tell you, they just recently launched an update. But what's neat is, in addition to everything they have, they've introduced an effects menu. So I made a recording that I sent off, and that recording is called Stan in the Cave.
F6.
I have used the F6 key to launch the recording aspect of Studio Recorder. This is Stan Warren Luttrell, and I've used Studio Recorder for years, probably the majority of time. And one of the nice things is you can normalize with it. You can do all sorts of things with Studio Recorder. And if you go and you have a tendency, like I did during part of the beginning of this recording, where my voice was a little bit too loud and I went beep, beep. There's a little tone. So it tells you when you are doing things like that. And I think for something like this, now you do have to, if you want something other than WAV or WAV files or MP3, those are the only two types of file it supports natively. Anyway, I was interested in this, and I hope that you will take the time to consider, because as we often say, the more tools you can have in the toolkit, the better off you are. But when I purchased it, think about this, Steve and Shaun. I paid $200 for it. Anyway, I thought that the resident pest, the double tap pest, would come in and send you something. And take care, folks. And you always do a fantastic job. And it's my daily ritual. If nothing else, it's my daily ritual to be a double tapper. So happy double tapping, everyone. Have an awesome day.
Oh, thank you, Stan. Isn't he a star?
That was
Stan the
so Mr.
star.
Radio at the end there. Have an awesome day. That was
Awesome.
beautiful, Stan.
Yeah.
And thank you for that as well. I mean, when you think of the deal that is, well, the price it currently is, Stan say $49 there.
Yes,
It was
I think I discounted it just beforehand by saying
yes.
25. I meant 50. That's exactly what I meant. No, it's definitely $50. My apologies.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great. It's especially, when you consider who it's from, you can guarantee you're going to get the materials that you need to learn it or at least get started with it. And yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Stan.
Yeah, thanks, Stan. Let's move on because Kelvin, I should say, got in touch because he wanted to demonstrate something for us as well and talk through a product he got, which is the Tapo doorbell.
Hi, it's Kelvin Marsh in Taunton, Somerset. I wanted to talk about doorbell video cameras. I've recently got a new one. It's the Tapo D235, and Tapo are part of the TP-Link group, and the reviews were very, very good for the unit, but of course it was all down to whether I could use the app. And I downloaded a couple of apps from different manufacturers. Some of them were so bad I couldn't even put my username in without getting in a right pickle. But the Tapo app, completely different. Everything was so accessible. So the doorbell itself, it's a video camera with internal batteries. The batteries apparently will last up to 7 months, but it can also be hardwired. So I've gone for the hardwire option. You can either subscribe for a cloud service, but it will take an SD card. So that's what I've done. When it's hardwired, it can do 24/7 recording, which is really useful. And I've got to be honest, in the app, you can see all of the saved clips. It's very easy to bring them up and then even share them with Seeing AI, for example, and get a description. The way the recordings are monitored is quite interesting. You can have AI monitoring, so you can have person detection, vehicle detection, pet, and package detection, or you can just set it up for general movement. So I've switched off movement, and I've just said person and vehicle. So those are triggered, and so far it's been 100% accurate. When you go into the recordings, that's all very accessible, and you can see the timestamp, you can see if it's a person or a vehicle, and you can either just play the thing through, or, as I say, get it described by AI. The doorbell itself comes with an internal chime unit, which you plug in, you pair. That's very loud, and you can put that almost anywhere in the house. You can also have it announced by your Alexa devices. And it also has an external chime, so when somebody's pressing it outside, they know the thing's going off. It will also ring your phone, and it rings through just as though you've got a phone call. So you can do the magic tap, answer the phone call, if you like, and you can hear what's going on outside through the speaker or through the doorbell's microphone. But if you want to talk to them, you've got to tap the mic button. But that's very easy to find. It just comes up on your screen. You have to unlock the phone with Face ID, and you've got a couple of options. I just tap on microphone and then I'm talking to them. So it's a shame that it's not a true answer the phone type action and you get two-way communication. But it is two-way. It's not walkie-talkie like. You can both talk at the same time. I can't say enough about this unit. It really is exceptional. It's on offer at the moment. I got it for £90 reduced from 120, and highly recommended. If you want a unit that you can have full control of, use all of the settings and not get frustrated by what is quite a complicated app, but as I say, all fully accessible. So that's my tip. A Tapo D235 doorbell.
Sounds very good. I love when you get an accessible piece of technology. It's kind of nice. It's unusual, right?
Sounds very good. What are you talking about? Underplaying it or what? This sounds amazing. I have the Blink video doorbell, which I've been raving about because the app is, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 when it comes to accessibility. Most of it is accessible. I could set it up out of the box by myself accessibly. Very, very good. I love it. I would rip my Blink off the front door right now and get this one in a heartbeat because the Blink is very, very basic. It does, well, it has no AI features. Let me put it that way. The thing to be able to filter your clips and, hey, just show me people who have come to my door over the last 24 hours, that's worth it for me on its own. So I think this is absolutely amazing. I am so jealous I didn't hear about this before I got the Blink.
But this is why it's so important, I think, that we do it this way on the show, that we have people who get in touch and share these reviews, because we can't buy everything.
No,
we can't
absolutely.
test everything. And there are a lot of products that I would look past immediately. I've got to say, I'd have looked right past this one. When I was looking at doorbells, I would never have thought Tapo doorbell would be an option. Because I would immediately think, oh, is the app going to be accessible? Is it going to work? And it's not like, it's one thing buying something like a keyboard or, I don't know, something that you can just easily stick in the post and send back. This you have to put up outside your house. You've got to put it in position. You've got to set the whole thing up. You need to know that it's accessible. And the thing is, I've got the Ring doorbell, and that's a little bit because, if I'm honest, it's just been the name I've gone with again and again and again. I don't find the app particularly accessible. I don't think it's the best at all. I'd say it's probably a 5 out of 10 when it comes to accessibility. Awful. So, I'm with you. I would rip my Ring doorbell off the wall if I knew how to and replace it with this.
The trouble is, though, I say that, but then I've got 5 Blink security cameras around my home.
Yeah.
Do I need to replace all those? It's all being sort of put in the same ecosystem, right? Because then what do? I have one app for my doorbell and one app for my security. It starts to get a little bit complicated. And this is always the ongoing problem with the smart home.
Yeah.
There's no just one app that you could access them all with. So, yeah, but fantastic information given there. I think this is, I'm going to say it, I think this is the blind video doorbell.
It's a blind doorbell.
There, I've said it. Go for it. Sounds amazing.
Yeah. No, thank you, Kelvin. Really appreciate that. And thank you to everybody who gets in touch. Stan as well for sending in your review. And if there's something you've got at home, a piece of technology you've been using, or maybe an app you've tried and you think it's good, you don't have to create a whole big review just like these guys. Just send in your thoughts. We'd love to hear them. And look how valuable those thoughts are. So, get in touch and, you know how to do it. You've got the details. Feedback at doubletaponair.com. 1613-481-0144. That is our WhatsApp number. Just a reminder that Studio Recorder from APH is actually $50, not $25, as I said earlier. So please don't go and say, hang on, he said on Double Tap there is $25. No, it's not. It's $50. That was my mistake. Listen, tomorrow on the show, we're going to be joined by Michael Babcock and Carrie Morales. They're joining us to talk all about the Meta Connect event, and we'll get their first takes on that. The event itself happens 5 p.m. Pacific today. But of course, that's like 1 a.m. in the UK. So, I might be up, I might not.
We'll be there. We'll be there. I can guararantee it.
We'll
I want to see
definitely
this
be.
new headset.
It's not a headset. If you say this one more time, it's not a headset.
I just did. Headset.
You're just annoying me. I haven't only had one coffee today as well. How am I supposed to survive on this? That is it for us today, though. Keep in touch, and we'll catch you for another Double Tap tomorrow. How's that sound, Shaun?
Great, thank you. Double Tap Solo.
And a special coming up on Friday from the Touch Beyond Vision exhibition.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, plenty to look forward to this week on the show. Thanks, Shaun.
Double Tap Solo again.